Back to Reconciliation Prep, Chapter 4. Last time we talked about how we learn about how to love other people by reading the Bible. And this time in Chapter 4, we're talking about how we follow the Ten Commandments, which in fact is going to be the story that we're going to read here in our Catholic Children's Bible when God gives those 10 commandments to Moses. And we're going to list all those 10 commandments that God gave to the people and Moses during their time wandering around in the desert for 40 years at Mount Sinai. Interesting thing about the 10 commandments, God does not just give us rules to keep us from having fun, right? That's not the point. Just like your parents don't give you rules to keep you from having fun. Parents give you rules to keep you safe, and God gives us his rules to keep us safe as well. It's not good for us to kill and steal and cheat and lie, and it's not good for us to worship false gods or take God's name in vain or not keep the Sabbath day holy, right? So God gives us these rules so that we can be happy and we can know what's wrong so that we can choose to avoid it and know what's good and choose to do what's good. Because you see, there's a big difference between a sin and an accident, right? A sin is something that you know is wrong, you choose to do it anyway, and you're free to do it. You're not forced to do it. An accident is something where either you don't know that it's wrong, you didn't freely choose to do it, or you're forced to do it, right? So if I kind of picked up your leg and swung it towards your brother or sister and knocked your foot in their leg, you didn't kick them. I did. I just used your leg. Right? Or if you legitimately didn't know that you were not supposed to eat that cookie before dinner. You probably knew that. But if you didn't know and you did it, that's an accident. That's not a sin. So when you go into the sacrament of reconciliation, you don't have to confess accidents because you didn't intentionally do anything wrong. You made a mistake. There's a difference between a mistake and a sin. Later on, we're going to talk about the difference between big deal sins, which are mortal sins, and venial sins, which are little sins. Right, the big deal sins, mortal sins, is something that is seriously wrong, you know it's seriously wrong, and you freely choose to do it anyway. If none of those things are in play, then it's not, or any one of those things isn't in play, then it's not a mortal sin. Same thing is true with a sin. If you don't know that it's a sin and you do it, it's an accident, it's not a sin. If you didn't freely choose to do it, somebody forced you to do it, it's not a sin. It's also not really an accident, it's somebody else forcing you to do it. Right? So with sins, when you know something is wrong and you choose to do it anyway, when you know these 10 commandments that God gave us and you say, you know what? Number 5, thou shalt not kill, not worried about it. I'm going to do it anyways. It's a sin. And that's what the sacrament of reconciliation is for. No matter what sin you commit, God will always forgive it if you're sorry. And that's the awesome thing about the sacrament of reconciliation.